Whoa, hey, how's it going? I was just learning a few mental fitness techniques from this program called Reboot Mindfulness that our high school mountain bike team uses. It's a really great program. We have every type of athlete that you can imagine. There's something inside each athlete that drives them. But there are so many other things beyond just simply how they're wired that can help them meet their goals. A lighter bike, working on skills, learning how to hydrate and fuel, getting sleep, reframing their nerves, learning positive self-talk. There's so many things to learn for these young athletes. But they don't have to do it all at once, and they don't have to master them all. But if they can improve in a few areas, they'll continue to make marginal gains that can really add up. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with marginal gains, but if you're not, it's an idea that emerged out of cycling, where making a bunch of small improvements across multiple aspects of your performance will lead to a much larger cumulative gain. Let's say an athlete hydrates and fuels properly instead of missing calories and electrolytes. For these young racers, that's a pretty big gain, actually, maybe even 20%. And then let's say they've gotten into the proper mindset so that their bodies and their minds feel ready to perform. Let's say that gives them another 15% improvement. And in practice last week, they worked on and feel confident in some skill areas that they've been falling short on. Boom, another 10%. Even if they don't improve other things that could help them perform their best, by improving a few things just a little bit, they've improved by like 40+%. That's huge. That is a huge margin in a race. I love playing around with this concept when thinking about improving a brand's performance like this, because it lets you tinker to see what works and then build on it rather than tear the house down and rebuild everything from scratch. Think about how this could apply to your social. Instead of thinking about making something that goes viral or hooking your wagon to the biggest and brightest influencer, what can you do to get a 10% higher engagement? Maybe it's your posting time. Maybe it's your visual content. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's a different copy approach. Maybe it's all of those things. You can play around, see what works, and then apply what works going forward and build on it. Think about email. What happens if you mix up your story arc, or play around with your content approach, or just up the frequency to different segments? You can play around and see what works, and then apply that going forward. With marginal gains, you're looking for progress over perfection, much like a growth mindset. But don't get all willy-nilly with this. Look for several areas to improve, but start with small improvements, and then monitor it and build on it. Okay, so this week, pick 3 things that you can try to improve just a little bit somewhere in your business and see where it takes you. For me, I'm going to try posting this at a different time than I usually do. And I'm going to try to not forget the hashtags like I always do. All right, I'm going to go get back to learning about how to get in the zone. Bet there's some marginal gains to be had there. All right, we'll see you out there.